Guys, take a look at what I have here. This is a Lenovo A as in Apple 475. You probably have never heard about this laptop because it wasn't very popular when it was first issued. It was one of the first laptops that Lenovo put an AMD chip in, and it just didn't sell that well. So there are not that many of them out there on the market. But let me tell you, this is actually kind of an amazing laptop. It is probably the cheapest gaming laptop that you can get as a used laptop. I picked up this laptop in nearly mint condition. Look at this. I mean, this thing is in nearly mint condition. I picked up this laptop on eBay, no joke, for $50 including shipping. So for $50 including shipping, I picked up this beautiful A475 laptop. And this laptop is actually spec'd out pretty well. So looking at the platform specs here, this laptop has a Pro A12 9800B processor. So that's the top of the line processor that was available in this laptop. And it comes with the R7 graphics, AMD R7 graphics, Radeon R7 graphics. The only thing that it's missing, so it does have RAM in it, so it's got 2 sticks of 8 gigabytes, so it's got 16 gigabytes of RAM. Both batteries are working great. The only thing is it didn't come with a hard drive, so there's no storage drive, there's no SSD, but I actually see that as an opportunity because I can decide to put in whatever storage drive I want. In this case, I'm trying something different, and I'm going to use this KingSpec drive. I've never used KingSpec before. I know it's a really popular brand outside of the United States. I got this on AliExpress for dirt cheap. I mean, it was kind of crazy how inexpensive this was. $18 shipped for a 256 gigabyte M2 NVMe PCIe storage drive. And so PCIe, that's the fastest you can get. This particular laptop can handle both a SATA drive, so SATA drive being the older style, 6 gigabytes per second, whereas this is a PCIe drive. In this particular laptop, it can only do 3x2, which gives you 16 gigabytes per second. So you can install this M2 here as a 3x4. Pretty certain this is. Yeah, this is a 3x4, 3.0 PCIe 3.0 times 4. But in this particular laptop, because you have to run it with an adapter, and I also picked up this adapter on AliExpress. This was $12 for this adapter. And because you're using the adapter, this only runs at 16 gigabytes per second, which is still pretty awesome. So I'm going to take the opportunity to upgrade this laptop. I'm sure when it originally shipped, it probably originally shipped with a SATA drive. And I'm going to go ahead and put in the adapter with this KingSpec drive, and we'll see how well this works. It's got a 3-year warranty. Has really fantastic reviews on AliExpress all throughout the world. It's just not a brand that we know very well in the United States. And you know, sometimes these Chinese brands are kind of a little funky. Looking at their tagline here, I don't know if you can see this, their tagline is KingSpec. Keep thinking, store loving. A little odd. I like it though. So I'm gonna try it. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do with this laptop is let's take the base cover off. So let's take the bottom off of it. And we'll do that by first taking out the battery here. So there's these 2 little retainers here that you have to push back, and then you can slide this battery out. So we slid that battery out, and let's get a screwdriver here. One of the things I love about Lenovo is that they're super easy to work on. Some other laptops make it really challenging to take off the base cover. Lenovo's have always been fantastic at the ease of working on them. So we're just going to take out these screws here in the bottom. And this is one of the easier ones. All you have to do is take the screws out and then crack the sides, and you'll be good to go. I also like that Lenovo does captive screws. That means when you're taking the screw out, the screw's not going to come all the way out. It's got a little captive washer on the back side of it. So when you do take this cover off, the screws are not gonna fly out all over the place. Okay, so then I like to slowly, some people will use a tool to do this. I just like to go around the edges and with a fingernail, just find a spot where I can start this. So start it there, and then I'll just gently run along the edges with my fingernail, slowly pulling it out, and there it just whole thing popped out right there. All right, so let me let's put a light on this so you can see this a little bit better. There we go. And let's do a quick tour here. So, man, you have to love Lenovo build quality. This is just a really well-built laptop. The plastics are really just fantastic. I just love them. I love how well built they are. This one especially. So let's look at what we've got here. So here in the bottom right-hand corner here, we have an internal battery. This was the external battery that we removed from the outside. So here's the internal battery. And then over here, we've got one stick of RAM. And I believe these are, let's see, these are DDR4. So DDR4, you can put up to 32 gigabytes on this laptop. So you can do 16 gigabytes here, and then another 16 gigabytes here for a total of 32 gigabytes. That's typical. I mean, that's typical of most laptops. You can do 32 gigabytes in them. It's really nice that you're able to upgrade this. A lot of laptops nowadays, they have the RAM soldered down to the board to where you can't upgrade. So I really appreciate these older laptops where you're still able to upgrade the RAM. Over here, you've got the CPU, and this is an AMD. Remember, this was an AMD Pro A12 CPU. This CPU does not get a lot of love. People don't really think this CPU is that great. And they're probably right. It's not that great when it comes to doing a lot of tasks on a work-oriented laptop or in a business-oriented laptop. But again, this is a gaming laptop, or at least I would consider this to be more of a gaming laptop with that R7 graphics on it, with the Radeon graphics in it. And so I'm not too worried about that. I just really appreciate how affordable this is. You guys can go on eBay and look for these, and you can find these all day long for super cheap prices. And most of them are in great condition because they weren't that great as business laptops. So what else do we have on here? Here is where the SSD drive would have been. So I think you could have actually gotten this with a hard drive. So you could have gotten this with a spinning platter hard drive, which to me is just so quaint that when this laptop came out, so this was in A475, this would have been like 2018. And in 2018, you could still get a laptop with a spinning drive in it, which is really just kind of interesting. But those are all gone nowadays. You could have also gotten it with a 2.5-inch SSD, or like what we're going to do here is we're going to put in a PCIe drive, and we're going to use this adapter to just pop it right in there. What else do we have in here? So here's in the upper left-hand corner here, this is the Wi-Fi card. So this is connected with these two wires here. These wires run up to around the bezel of the LCD or the LED. And so this is what provides your Wi-Fi. Over here, this slot here is for a wide area network card. So this would be like for a cell card if you wanted to put one in here. I don't know if you can also use this. Let's see, can you also use this? Sometimes you can also put a storage drive in here. So here's a wide area network, wireless wide area network, and does not look like you can put a storage drive in there. So just a wireless wide area network, which I don't know. Most people don't do this. They're just going to connect their phone to the laptop via Wi-Fi. And so speakers down here in the bottom right hand corners, you've got all of your ports. Here's your CMOS battery. I think that's pretty much it. And actually your CPU is right here. This is where your CPU is. And this is just your CPU fan. So your CPU is over here. Earlier I said it was over here, but that's not right. Your CPU is actually over here. So let's go ahead and we'll install the PCIe adapter. And this should be really straightforward here. So all we have to do is pop this off here. Okay. And it's got this little pad that's going to press up against the storage drive. And then we've got our screw here to attach the storage drive. I'm not sure if this is OE or if this is a knockoff. Can't really tell. I'm a little concerned because it feels a little off to me. It doesn't quite feel exactly like Lenovo quality, so hopefully it works just as well. And I believe it goes. Well, we'll see when we get in there. So let's open this up. Again, cool packaging. Was shipped to me for $18 from China, directly from China. Got to me pretty quickly. You can't find anything this cheap on Amazon or anywhere else really. So hopefully the warranty, the 3-year warranty they have here means that it'll actually do well for that time frame. I like the packaging. I also like the way they've sandwiched it between 2 pieces of plastic here. And there we go. KingSpec, 256 gigabytes. That should be plenty for what I'm going to do with this laptop. Really cool design that they put on here. I like, it just looks good. All right, so we're going to pop this in here. I don't know where that extra screw came from. Interesting. Did that maybe come out of this box here? Yeah, maybe it did. I think maybe it did come out of there. All right, so this should just pop right in here. Okay, and then we put this back on, the cover back on. And line up the holes here. There is some thread locker on these screws. I don't really know if that's necessary. This one doesn't have thread locker on it, it's just that one screw had thread locker on it. Okay, so that we've got the drive in there, and then this definitely must have been a screw that came with the drive, which is nice. I appreciate when the SSD manufacturers, the storage manufacturers, when they give you that screw. A lot of times it's annoying when you buy one of these and it doesn't come with that M2 screw, with that screw that you need for attaching it to either the motherboard or to an adapter. So nice that that one came with it. Okay, so this flips upside down like this, and then it's gonna pop in here like so. And there's nothing that's really holding this down. It's inside this this plastic, this rubber caddy here. Oh, and it does, once it slots in here, it's in there. So there is a little, just make sure we got this all right. There is a little tab here. You can see right here. There's a little tab right here that when you push down, it locks it in. So I push down and that locks it in. Okay, and then this connects right here. Sometimes can be a little challenging to get in. Let's take this back out. I almost feel like I'm putting it in backwards or something. Maybe I've got it going the wrong direction. Here we go. Okay, we got it in. That was tougher than I expected. I feel like sometimes when things are tougher than that, or tougher than expected, it's because you're not working with an OE part. So I'm hoping this thing works. But there we go. So that's been installed now. And now we can just simply close the laptop back up and I will be able to install an operating system. And once I get Windows installed on here, it's got it has a license for Windows 10 Pro. That's already stored in the BIOS, so we just need to install Windows on it and it will activate on its own. And then we can do some testing and see how this processor works. And then we can do some testing with some games, maybe put Fortnite on here and see how that plays. But I'll do that in some future videos, we may also go ahead and remove the heat sink off of here and see if we can take the processor out. Well, we won't take the processor out. We'll remove the heat sink and we'll put some thermal paste on here and see if we can improve the performance, the cooling performance of the whole cooling setup here. But we'll do that in a future video. But guys, thanks so much for watching. Again, I think this is going to be a great little gaming laptop. Can't beat the price. Beautiful laptop that I got for the price. And just let me know if you have any questions. Thanks guys, I appreciate you watching.